Highway Patrol responds to and investigates thousands of collisions along Interstate 35, 40, 44, and 244. But the work of our troopers doesn't end there. They also respond to incidences of road rage and criminal activity, motorist assists, clearing of debris from roadways, and more. County and local law enforcement would be severely impacted in man-hours, special training, and associated costs, but the citizens will be the ones who ultimately pay the price. By contrast, no one in Highway Patrol leadership or the Department of Public Safety has consulted with me about this plan to eliminate Metro patrols. As the Chief Law Enforcement Officer for the state of Oklahoma, it is my highest priority to ensure that the public is safe. I will gladly work with the Commissioner, with Secretary Everest and patrol leadership to establish a plan that complies with the law and protects all 4 million Oklahomans. I would like to call to the podium Mayor Holt for a few comments, followed by Fraternal Order of Police President Mark Nelson. Mayor.
Thank you, General. Thank you again, General. I want to start by thanking everyone involved in this conversation for their public service, including and especially Attorney General Gentner Drummond, the team here at the AG's office, the public safety officials here today, and DPS Commissioner Tim Tipton and his Oklahoma Highway Patrol troopers. Though many of us disagreed with the proposal put forward by Commissioner Tipton, our disagreement originated from the value we place on the service that OHP provides, and we remain grateful for it. The people of Oklahoma City are strong supporters of all the law enforcement agencies that protect our residents, including OHP. Since the proposal was made, the 712,000 people of America's 20th largest city, as well as our entire metro of 1.5 million, have been facing an imminent public safety crisis. I want to thank those who did not sit idly by. I want to add my gratitude, as the General articulated, to Oklahoma City Senator Mark Mann for originally requesting this Attorney General's opinion, as well as the many bipartisan legislators who have expressed their deep concern about this proposal. And of course, I want to thank Attorney General Drummond and his team for their diligence in completing the opinion in a timely manner and with the correct finding. Today, the Attorney General has interpreted existing Oklahoma statute to prohibit the withdrawal of public safety services from 2/3 of our state's population. The 2/3 of Oklahomans that live in, vote in, and pay taxes in the Oklahoma City and Tulsa metropolitan areas obviously have already paid for and deserve to receive at least some version of the public safety service that has been offered to all Oklahomans since the Oklahoma Highway Patrol was created in 1937. And today we know officially that this is more than just a platitude. It is a statement that holds the force of law. As the General read, but I think it bears repeating, Title 47, Section 2117 D2 of the Oklahoma statute states that the Oklahoma Highway Patrol Division shall have primary law enforcement authority respecting traffic-related offenses upon the national system of interstate and defense highways. Title 47, Section 2117B enumerates the responsibilities and duties of the Oklahoma Department of Public Safety. Subsection 10 reads that those responsibilities and duties include, quote, to investigate and report traffic collisions on all interstate and defense highways. It doesn't really require a law school dean, a mayor, or an attorney general to decipher that language. All means all. It is very plainly stated, and the Attorney General's opinion issued today is clearly right on the law. But I want to add that the intent behind the law is worth respecting as well. Our elected legislators wrote those words I just read to you for a very good reason. All of us who are responsible for the provision of government services must always remember that even when we are stretched thin, we cannot completely abandon residents, taxpayers, and voters based simply on where they live. I have great sympathy for the challenges faced by Commissioner Tipton because we face similar challenges in Oklahoma City. We always need more officers at OCPD to cover those 620 square miles you heard the General speak of. But we know that it would never be an option to say to any of our residents that we're not even going to try anymore. Obviously, we will never abandon any of our constituents, nor should any level of Oklahoma government. Total abandonment of 2/3 of the state's population, especially on a service as vital as public safety, should never, ever be on the table. Having said that, the people of OKC stand shoulder to shoulder with Commissioner Tipton and his troopers in support of more resources for their agency, and we're more than willing to lend our voices to that advocacy. In the meantime, we are pleased that the law is already on our side with respect to this issue, and that we in Oklahoma City will continue to receive the core public safety services provided by OHP. Again, I thank Attorney General Gentner Drummond for this opinion, and the people of Oklahoma City are grateful that this crisis has been averted. Now I'd like to turn it over to FOP President, Oklahoma City FOP President, a fine officer for our department for many years and a friend to our city and to me, Mark Nelson.
Thank you, Mayor. I represent, as the mayor said, over 1,000 officers in Oklahoma City, thousands of officers in the metro Oklahoma City area. In Tulsa, we're talking 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 police officers, hundreds of whom are highway patrol troopers. And we are grateful for Gentner Drummond, Attorney General Gentner Drummond, and Mayor Holt's comments, their support. I want to be very clear that we stand shoulder to shoulder, as Mayor Holt said, with our colleagues, with our partners at OHP, some of the most professional, finest public safety servants you will ever meet. So we have to continue to work with them. We're grateful for the opinion of the general, and very transparently, if his opinion had been on the other side and gave such latitude, we would stand here in support of that position, but in an effort to collaborate to provide public safety. So this isn't about cherry picking opinions and standing with people that agree with us. This is about providing public safety. This is about responsibility and resources. The mayor echoed a scenario, or I will echo the mayor's comments about a scenario of just abandoning a portion of Oklahoma City simply because we don't have enough officers. That wouldn't be allowed, and citizens should rightfully be upset if that were to happen. We will advocate for more resources. This is a resources issue. The gentlemen with me here, who also represent hundreds across the metro area, know what it takes to provide public safety. They stand with our troopers. We work with them middle of the night, middle of the afternoon to try to accomplish public safety for each and every Oklahoman. And we will continue to do that. I will advocate with our chief, and I assume these individuals as well, depending on how this plays out, that who we represent in Oklahoma City and those responsibilities, how this continues to evolve, is taken seriously. That responsibility that the troopers provide on the interstates, the public safety efforts, the attention to detail on traffic accidents, and just general public safety on our interstates and highways that they're responsible for does not go unnoticed. There is a very unique need for it. So we're grateful for the clarity that the general provided. We stand in solidarity and agreement with what the mayor's comments were. And Oklahomans, municipal police officers, county deputies will continue to work with our colleagues and our friends at OHP to provide public safety to all Oklahomans. Thanks, General.
Appreciate it. Yes, sir. We have time for a few questions.
How are you going to measure this? What if they just leave one or two, and how do you use it?
Right, so the opinion does not remove discretion from the commission, right? The DPS has the discretion to deploy its forces as it needs to. What this does is draw a bright line that you cannot abandon the interstates and highways of the municipalities of Oklahoma City and Tulsa. So now, you're right, if we play games and have one trooper, then we'll probably have other issues. But what the public asked for, what the legislators have asked for, is clarity on the statutes, and we provided that clarity in the opinion that's being released as we speak. And then I do trust Commissioner Tipton and Secretary Everest to do the right thing.
Did you communicate your decision to Tim Tipton, and did he have a response to you?
No, the opinion is being released today.
What will next steps look like after this?
I beg your pardon?
What will next steps look like after this?
I think that the issue settled, and we go about business as usual. If the governor needs additional resources in the highway patrol, then I anticipate that he'll ask the legislature to appropriate more funds so we can have more troopers.
Mr. Attorney General, I'm curious. That's actually what I was going to ask you about. And I know Mr. Nelson, your thoughts of capital a lot, but if the current public safety crisis at the statewide level is that there are often not troopers available to respond to patrol 24/7 in rural areas. You're running for governor, you're the state's chief law enforcement officer. What is your understanding of the impact of that, and to what extent
No, we clearly have a lack of resources deployed in law enforcement. I mean, I think the officers represented to my flanks would speak in one voice that we have need for more resources, certainly. The county sheriffs, their deputies, and the municipality police officers in rural Oklahoma are remarkable public servants and do a very excellent job. And we do have trooper presence in rural Oklahoma. Could we have more? Absolutely. But what we cannot afford to do is abandon 2/3 of the population without any kind of empirical data, or frankly, without sufficient training and notice and funding for the municipal law enforcement agencies represented here. If they were given a 3 to 5 year time frame, if CLEAP were to be able to offer additional training resources, if you think about a turned over semi on an interstate in Tulsa or Oklahoma counties that's got a placard, a hazard placard. There's 14 different placards that represent different hazardous material. The troopers that respond to those are highly trained and perfectly equipped to deal with those contaminants. Our municipal and our county law enforcement agencies are not trained in that area. So just to think as one example, and then if we have municipal law enforcement patrolling the interstates, as Highway Patrol presently does, then we do not have the men and women in uniform patrolling our communities. And that invites reckless and criminal behavior across our communities, and we can't afford that either.
DPS continues with its plan, which changes towards controlling rural areas of the state. At what point would they be breaking the law and then what after that?
Right, so the opinion simply says that the commission has the discretion to deploy its resources as necessary, but it does not have the discretion to abandon the metropolitan centers. And how they decide to do it, much like the question that was asked earlier, is a matter of policy, and I trust the men and women in leadership of our state to do the right thing.
Time for one more question.
Mr. Cole, Mr. Nelson, nobody said anything. Curious, for fire public safety, here in Oklahoma County, I think probably the biggest public safety question continues to be the Oklahoma County Jail. You know, the city doesn't have a contractual relationship, not a funding relationship. Mr. Nelson, Mr. Holt, Mr. Drummond, I'm curious, as we look at years of delay, a potential vote on a tax raise to fund the jail, do you support getting that jail done, or do you think it's not going to get it done? I'm curious what you think.
Mayor Holt.
Well, I publicly supported, as did many leaders in our community, the vote a couple of years ago for what has maybe emerged as the first tranche of funding for the county jail. I think I and other people who are sort of bystanders to the discussions just await a new proposal. And I read the paper like everybody else. I mean, I know there's lots of things that get thrown about, but nothing with any formality has yet to emerge. So people often want me or others to be involved. I don't have any kind of entree into that conversation. It is, as we know, a responsibility of the county government, and so I try to stay available, but ultimately I am a bit of a bystander like everybody else to that. But I did, publicly lend my support to the last vote, and we'll see if something else emerges that would warrant that as well. Whether they need it or not, I don't know. But I don't know if Mark has anything else to add, but.
Mark, I'd be curious your thoughts.
Well, we haven't been approached about any type of a funding mechanism. There, obviously, the discussion about a county jail and the need for a new one has been in front of every Oklahoma County citizen for some time, but we haven't been approached about taking a side, supporting or not supporting any effort. I suppose when those get a little bit more concentrated, we're likely to be reached out to, and probably could have more to say at that point. But in the meantime, it's kind of in a wait-and-see position.
Thank you all.
Thank you very much for being here today. We have officers here that if you'd like to interview any of them, and they are willing to do so, once we've shut down the press conference, you may do so. Thank you for being here. Thank you very much, Mark. Mary? Thank you, Mark. Appreciate it. Norma? Appreciate it.
I work for the Tulsa World, so I'm more interested in Tulsa. Can I talk to you on the record?
Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you for coming.
Booming crisis. I'm trying to figure out what to do about it. When you resolve it for now.